This year we're doing our annual conference, which is our flagship event. We're doing it in Suva, in Fiji, and it's wonderful to be in the Pacific. We're celebrating our 25th anniversary, so this is sort of highly symbolic also that it's done in Suva. The conference is a resounding success. We have something like 750 participants between people who are present physically in Suva and people who are online, who represent roughly 100 countries. So I think it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's bringing people together, mainly from different parts of the Global South, people from the Global North as well, but it's basically bringing people together from the Global South who have very limited opportunities to interact at this level.
The Global Development Network conference that we're at now is amazing. I'm so happy to be here surrounded by so many diverse people who are passionate about building resilience in their own community.
One of the things I've learned is actually there's a lot of disciplines represented at this conference. So I met an anthropologist, I've met economists, I've met engineers, and it's very clear that when we want to do global development, we need a multi-sectoral or multi-disciplinary approach. So it's a delight that GDN is putting this on.
The plenaries today were terrific, discussing some hard issues, taking a deep dive into how we can create a resilient world, inclusive world, both from policy perspectives, from local perspectives, from academic perspectives, and how we create alliances between all these different sectors.
The sessions overlap because essentially the first session was dealing with concepts, with principles, but that's inevitable because all of the sessions are very much related and you won't be able to discuss one without touching the other. So it's essentially one big session. The whole of the GDN event is one big session divided into short stints, no? When it comes to talking about thematic focus.
Our forefathers have vast traditional knowledge, and as you move across the Pacific Island region, you'll be amazed at the amount of traditional knowledge that each culture, each country has harnessed over the years. And it's amazing now that science is coming up with a lot more recent research. We're able to rationalize how our traditional forefathers had done what they did.
I think the value that these communities carry in terms of what has been built through traditions over generations is something we are globally losing very, very rapidly. And science needs to pause and look a little more carefully at what has been happening here. And there's a lot that we can learn. There's a lot that we can marry between emerging technologies, what we call frontier technologies, new thought, but then very stable, robust, time-proven practices that people have. If there is something that has worked with a little community in a little far-off island in the Pacific, there are ways it can be adapted, there are lessons that can be learned from it that can be carried to other islands, not just in this region, but in the other parts of the world.
Many of them were asking questions like, how do we bring all the finance down to the community level and make it easier for access to that finance? And this conference enabled that engagement. I think that was very important, to the communities that are represented here as well.
And the way we've structured this conference this year, it's different from previous years. Instead of just having a conference where researchers are presenting papers, we've tried to turn it into a conference where we continue, in some sense, at the conference, fulfilling our basic mission, which is capacity building. So the way we've structured things is that in the mornings, there are plenary sessions, and in the afternoons, there are various workshops, in some sense, which are breakout sessions, which to a large extent involve capacity building.
The workshop that I facilitated yesterday just really made my heart sing. It was so good. There was a lot of noise in the room, there was a lot of energy. So it's really good to be able to be somewhere like this and see the bigger picture in what some of the NGOs and researchers are doing to solve some of these climate resilience issues. And then businesses like us can help with some of those soft skills to make sure that we can support everyone and there is collaboration and synergies happening everywhere.
The conference, I think it's been well thought out to have some plenary sessions and to have parallel streams and some unstructured time for people to really get to know each other. I think that has helped to create a culture of open sharing and open discussions. There's been time enough for people to share their views.
Suva is special for us because in July, Fiji became the 6th member country of GDN. So this is highly symbolic. The whole organization is eternally grateful to the Government of Fiji and to the Minister of Finance and Deputy PM Biman Prasad for making this happen, because it was thanks to the Fiji government, obviously. I'd like to bring up our gratitude to USP, who are our local partner, who are hosting the conference. Facilities are fabulous. The campus is gorgeous. The volunteers are incredible, and they've just done everything that they can. They've rolled out the red carpet, and they've done absolutely everything that they can to make this what I think is going to be an outstanding success.
Through this conference, I met many people from around the world. I like to network from other countries, so I'm really enjoying this conference.
That there's a Pete Seeger song that says that, the world is going to be solved by millions of small things. And to me, like, the last 2 days has been also demonstrating that, spirit, that it's not just one approach and one way. I mean, we are so diverse. We have diverse contexts. I learned so much about these small Pacific island nations, and which I only would have learned from textbooks, or, it doesn't sit well until you meet people, you understand their passion and their work.